All right guys, what's up? So I got these little tri-tips right here. I'm gonna reverse sear on the Weber kettle grill. I'm gonna put an easy, simple seasoning on this. I think I got some Cosmos Q I'm gonna throw on there. And yeah, we're just gonna get this up to temperature, probably about 120 indirect with some smoke. Then I'm gonna get a hot fire going and sear it up. And it's gonna be easy as hell. So here we go guys, check it out. All right, so if these were prime or Wagyu, maybe I'd trim these a little more. There's some fat on there, I'm just gonna leave it on because it's gonna be good flavor. These are just some everyday choice tri-tips. Not too much marbling in there. I mean, if I could find better ones, I would've got them, but these are gonna have to do. And most of you people already know about how the grain runs. So you got like that, and then it fans out more. So just cut it like this until you get right here, and then you can cut it like that. So all I'm gonna do with this is some cow cover hot. Just gonna put it over both of these. Easy as that. All right, so I'm using one of these little tumbleweed starters to start the fire in the Weber kettle. I'm gonna start with about a dozen briquettes and get a little fire going and throw the rest in there. Using the slow and sear. A lot of people think slow and sear is bullshit. It's not necessary. You could just throw all the coals off to one side and use it like that if you want. I just find this more convenient, so that's how I'm gonna do it. All right, so I put an ambient probe in there just to make sure I don't screw nothing up. As you can see, I don't know if you can really see it. I kind of shut the vents down at like 175 just so it doesn't run out of control. It's gonna keep going up till about 250, 275, then I'm gonna throw the meat on after that. All right, we're about 230 degrees. And get these on here. So I only had the one probe. I put the probe in the smaller tri-tip because it's going to come up to temperature quicker. So at about 115, 120, I'm going to pull them off and get that fire hotter and then sear them up. All right, doing an easy red pepper sauce. It's gonna not take too long for you guys to make. Got 4 bell peppers right here. Got some Fresno chilies, which are basically almost the same as jalapenos, but not exactly. But the heat level is about the same. And I got some garlic. So I'm gonna cut these into strips, slice these up. And if you don't want spicy, obviously, like I always say, substitute it or just leave them out. All right, get yourself a nice size frying pan. Bring it up to like a medium heat, medium high. A few tablespoons of olive oil. Got a big pinch of salt, a couple pinches of salt, and pepper. Big tablespoon of Mexican oregano. All right, so I'm gonna sweat this in the pan for about 3, maybe 4 minutes, just so they release a little bit of steam. Then I'm gonna cover it and reduce it to medium-low and let it go for 30 minutes and let it just cook down really good. All right, so this cooker is running at like 264. I don't know if you can see that because of the camera. And we're at 120 exactly on the smallest tri-tip, so I'm gonna take these off. I'm gonna get that fire hot as hell, and then we're gonna sear these bad boys up. So the meat's off. I'm gonna let this rest for a little bit. All right, so these peppers been going for like 30 minutes. Woo! Got about a teaspoon and a half of some smoked paprika. Cook these on medium heat for like 5 more minutes, just so everything is kind of reduced down and caramelized. Then we're gonna blend it up. All right, so I'm gonna put a couple teaspoons of some red wine vinegar. You could use apple cider vinegar or sherry vinegar if you want. Cook it for a couple more minutes and that's it. All right, let the peppers cool down just for a second. Get them in a blender. And these are still hot, so be careful when you're blending it up because it might blow up on you. So make sure there's some air going through the top. All right, so you want to taste this and adjust it for seasoning. Add a little bit of salt if you need it. And if it's too thick for you, just add a little bit of water. But this is pretty hot, so I'm gonna put a couple ice cubes in there to kind of like cool it down. Plus it's gonna thin it out a little bit. So right now, that's the consistency we got. I mean, it's pretty thick. Just put a tiny bit more salt in there and just thin it out just a little bit. All right, get a strainer. I'm gonna strain that sauce. Also got a little bit of asparagus. You can just snap the ends off like that. I'm just gonna throw them on the grill just barely for like a couple minutes, and that's it. That's it. 2 minutes. All right, so for the asparagus, tiny bit of olive oil, just a little bit of salt, black pepper. Just mix them up. That's it. It's hard to see because of the lighting, but you know, it's about medium. I would have liked it medium rare, but there it is. This meal deserves a beer. All right, so just for a little recap, what we did was we reverse seared the tri-tip. So I cooked this at about 265, took almost an hour, probably like 40 minutes to get it to an internal temperature of 120. Then I took it off and I got the fire really hot. I seared it and it went a little bit over for me. I would have liked it a little bit more under, but just do it how you want. We used a Cosmos Q, cow cover hot, a little bit of asparagus with that sauce. And obviously that sauce is optional, but let's try it out. That rub is awesome. Nice smokiness to it. And you don't need the sauce. You don't need to make it like this. You can make a sandwich if you want. I just want to try something a little different. But and I'll link the exact recipe for that red pepper sauce I just did. Obviously it's optional, but it's awesome and you should try it. But that's it, guys. Easy tri-tip. Tastes hella good. Peace out.